So NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. Coming into it, we didn't expect much. The reason for that, it was directly following what was the worst NBA 2K game in history. In terms of the MyTEAM mode, 2K18 wasn't that bad. Sure, Supermax was annoying, sure, packing playoffs was terrible, but there were a lot of good things about that game mode. However, promises were made in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM that, to be honest, we expected them not to deliver on. Just like with every year, 2K not really delivering on promises. However, as someone who has played probably as much MyTEAM, as someone who's looked into every little bit of the game mode as much as anyone, there's a lot of people that have played a lot more of the game than me. I don't think anyone's looked into the stats of players as much as I have, things like that. I've looked into everything. I can safely say this is by far the best MyTEAM we've ever had. A massive upgrade from 18, and honestly, this could be a great step if 2K20 is even better. So this is the history of 2K19 MyTEAM. NBA 2K19 was released on the 7th of September, I think, last year. And it took until about an hour and a half after the game being released for people to realize how to basically cheese it. And unfortunately, I'm not going to lie, I probably was one of the first people to do that. And to let people know that, especially at this stage in the game, the pick and pop reigned supreme. Because of the low ratings of players, because obviously there weren't that many speed boosting players, there wasn't that many great post players, that many people great driving to the basket, day one, people could shoot. So pick and pops completely reigned supreme. The player of the month card was the Michael Finley card, which I think I was the first person to get in all of YouTube. And this was a little bit different than previous years, because previous years, the Supermax rewards, like day one we got, not even day one, after a couple of weeks we got a Marcus Camby card. It was never like a viable option to get a really great card from just grinding the game day one. If you wanted a great card, you had to spend money. However, in 2K19, they gave us Michael Finley, who day one was the best card by a significant amount in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. And a lot of people thought this was going to be the best card for quite a while in this game, which is absolutely crazy. Like, this card could dunk, he could shoot, and the tokens needed to get a diamond card were an insane amount. Some people, including myself, who got a lot of cards, needed until like November to start getting decent amounts. However, we only taught that for a day. This is day two. So this is going to be the first of my kind of creator showcase, and this is going to be the Twitch streamer and YouTuber Smoothie, who was blowing up at the start of 2K19. On day two, yes, day two, he had 7 diamonds in 2K19. Which was unheard of at the time. Like, sure, now diamonds are 1 2K MT. You guys might think it's nothing. But to get 7 diamonds, if you had 7 diamonds within a month of this game coming out, you would have one of the best teams in the game. However, through a combination of grinding the game, putting money into the game, trading, just a combination of everything, Smoothie actually managed to get these 7 diamonds on day 2. Which I just remember looking back on it at the time thinking, how the hell has anyone got more than 2 diamonds, let alone 7, which was this was one of the craziest things. You guys may not remember, but this is actually one of the craziest things that happened this year in MyTEAM. Someone managed to get this many tokens this quickly. In the second week of the game, we got our first promo, which was the Rookie Sensations promo. This promo was pretty much irrelevant. The only thing with this was that we thought it was going to be a sign of things coming in the future. So basically, they released these packs early in the token market for, I think it was 25 tokens. I could be wrong, it could have been more, for a guaranteed one of these players. So we thought that that was going to be a case with every promo pack, but it was literally just a case for this pack. They never did it again. However, one hilarious thing came from these packs. The invisible Kobe Bryant. So for the first 2 days of this pack coming out, there was literally an invisible Kobe. Kobe didn't have a player model for Froby, so he was invisible. And as you guys can see here, he doesn't know where he is on defense, my opponent. I'm using him online. And he put up 30 and got about 10 steals because my opponent literally didn't know who he was. It was one of the craziest glitches in MyTEAM, and no, this probably was the craziest glitch in MyTEAM. It's just not a lot of people did it. There wasn't many videos on it, so it's not that well known. And then a couple of days later was the start of it. The start of base 11. One of my favorite players for a long time, Amethyst Tom Gugliotta. The base 11 god in this game, one of the best dunkers in the game, one of the best cards in the game for quite a while. He was released actually in September. That shows how OP this card was at the time, one of the best cards in the game. And at the end of the month, they released a Pink Diamond Ben Wallace, and all it did was basically brought forward the auction house glitch. So basically there was a glitch in September that if you outbid someone on a card, the card would disappear from the auction. So for that reason, any card that went near 100k MT literally became extinct when people figured this out. It was actually crazy. Now we are on to October. So in October, the player of the month was THiswill. This card was actually released glitched. Every single stat in the card was the same. I'm pretty sure it was either 91 or 94. I think he had 91 in every single stat. I don't know why it happened with Larry Johnson as well, but they literally released just a glitched version of THiswill to everybody. However, when I actually got the card, when I got a chance to do a gameplay with him, it was just normal THiswill. He had hot zones everywhere. The glitch version, no hot zones, no badges. The game is proper badges. They also gave him the amateur release, which was a really good release at the time. And while I didn't think he was as good as Finley, it was still great to be able to get a pink dime when nobody had pink dimes. It was great to be able to get a free one. And then a couple of days later, we ended up getting our first free amethyst. So we ended up getting an amethyst reward by locker code. We'd gotten a Michael Jordan one before that, but again, this was interesting. It was hard to get Jerry West. Trust me, like, it was hard. I didn't get it in 3 tries. And again, it was good to see 2K giving us the free cards. And then the next day, we got some great cards. We got a budget beast in Rafe LaFrance, who still to this day is one of the best Ruby and below centers in this game. He can without doubt hold his own against any squad in this game, and was used in a lot of the best player squads, including the squad that was used to win what I'm going to talk about now. So the 250k tournament happened in October. So week 1, crazily enough, after an hour, Colby was actually number 1. Turn-up defense, the PS4 champion, was number 2. I've got no idea what happened on Xbox, so I'm not even going to talk about that. And actually, after 30 minutes, I was number 1, which is crazy enough. However, with about an hour to go, Jinsanity, who was winning it all, lagged out. Ended up getting a loss. And luckily enough, he ended up getting in the next week. And then, with 15 minutes to go, TJ was up by about 100 points over Splash. And in the end, TJ disconnected as well and couldn't get in. Thankfully, again, neither of those guys were affected too badly. They both qualified in other weeks. So the winner was, in fact, Luckershot, who ended up losing to the 4th ranked player this week, New Edition Flash, in the first round of the tournament. Just kind of crazy thing to happen. We are on to Creator Spotlight number 2, and this is Ambush. And this was probably the most impressive thing that any creator has done in NBA 2K19. And that's not a joke. It is the most impressive thing. And that includes most balling in September, basically going like 3 days with no sleep. Ambush managed to get Wilt Chamberlain before he check packs. This was so difficult to do. He managed to get all the way through the Pink Diamond board and get 750 tokens on the 15th of October. To put it into perspective, there was no other Galaxy Opal in this game until the end of December when they released Galaxy Opal Chris Paul. Wilt Chamberlain was without doubt the best card in MyTEAM at that stage. One of the best cards we'd ever seen in MyTEAM at that stage. This card was unbelievable. And more so than anything, not just the card, that Ambush did it by himself, streaming almost every bit of this journey to get Wilt. There were people that got Wilt a little bit before him, there were people that got Wilt a little bit after them, but all of those guys had 2-3 people grinding on their accounts. He did it all by himself and streamed it, which in my opinion is the most impressive thing that anyone did in all of 2K19. And then October was kind of the month of a lot of the ridiculous things just kind of starting in 2K. So obviously we had LaFrance, but then we ended up getting another center with an even higher rating, a 93 3-point rating on a Nikola Vucevic. And then they released the high voltage packs, which had, funnily enough, they were in the premium market as Halloween from launch, and then they randomly became high voltage when they actually were created. This was the first time we'd ever seen moving card art, and at the time was one of the coolest things we'd ever seen, although I'm not a big fan of flashing lights. We also got Brandon Roy, who was an unbelievable card. Brandon Roy was unbelievably hyped again because he hadn't been in the game before, and it was also our introduction to Base 8 with Brandon Roy, one of the best cards in the game at the time. And yeah, just an unbelievable card. A couple of days later, we got our first Limitless player. We got Steph Curry. And it was a long time before we got a Limitless player in NBA 2K17. Well, a Limitless player that you could actually purchase. It was quite a while in 2K18, but in 2K19 we got it in October. And not only that, a couple of days later, we actually managed to get his backcourt teammate, Klay Thompson. with a 99 3-point shot and limitless range. So in October, we had 2 limitless players, which was crazy. So these were the best players at each position in October. So the starters are the best, the bench are the second best. So we had a lot of fairly good players in this month. Like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Granger, Blake Griffin, Jermaine O'Neal. That is not a bad 5. Like, a lot of these guys could still kind of hold their own. While they're not going to be great cards to use nowadays, a lot of them could still hold their own in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM, which is kind of crazy considering October was the second month this game was out, which is nuts. But yeah, these were only cards you could buy. Like, you could lock in for a Moses Malone. You could get all those token rewards as shown by Ambish, as shown by Smoothie. So honestly, a great team in October, even though it wouldn't be a good team at all now, it's still maybe a usable team now if you're a skilled player, which we've never been able to say in previous years. November was a bit of a slow month in terms of my team, so the player of the month reward was Manu Ginobili. This card was great. Like, it was significantly better than Dan Issel, probably a little bit better than Michael Finley, and again was a guard pink diamond that you were able to get for free, which for me anyway was unreal because I didn't have that many pink diamond cards, and not that many pink diamond cards that I liked. Sure, I had Blake Griffin and cards like that, but there wasn't that many great ones. The next day we got the card that kickstarted the base 11 revolution, which is what I'm going to call it. Sure, we had Kurolenko, sure we had Gugliotta, but it was the introduction of Danny Granger into my team that got people realizing how good base 11 was. Granger is some of the best stats in the game, 6'9", and also one of the cheese releases. Pre-shot contest patch, this card was unstoppable. Speaking of unstoppable, that Friday we got Blake Griffin, the pink diamond Blake Griffin, who was just, I know, sure, he's outclassed right now, but at the time, to have like a 90 rated 3-point shooter with a 99 dunk, Hall of Fame posterizer, Hall of Fame Lob City finisher, he was just able to shoot the ball really well. He could dunk on everybody. He had speed with ball, which was fairly good. You were seeing him run at point guard. He had a wide body. This was one of the best cards in the game for so long. But this was, again, a kind of a sign for things to come with how OP cards were going to be this year. The middle of the month saw something different to the base 11 revolution, a locker code with a potential free base 11 card. You basically got a Gugliotta clone, maybe slightly better in Bob Pettit. While this is nowhere near the Bob Pettit Galaxy Opal, this was still a great card with base 11 who could shoot the lights out. And he was free. You literally couldn't buy this card. You could only get him for free. Later on in the month, we saw something weird. So 4 days after 2K released a 95 overall Diamond LeBron, they announced a pink Diamond LeBron, but made him a 95 overall. I know you guys might be kind of confused and wondering what's going on because this card is a diamond. Yes, it is a diamond. They released a pink diamond 95 overall, you packed them as a pink diamond, and then the next day, they changed its color from a pink diamond to a diamond. Not really relevant, not relevant at all, but again, it is kind of just a weird bit of 2K history that something you just never really would have expected to happen. So November ended with the Flight School packs, which, to be honest, were kind of the best packs we'd seen so far. They're some of the most overpowered players. Cards like the T-Mac were beast, Dwayne Wade was a beast, Iguodala was incredible, Sean Kemp was a nice reward. And at the end of the month, we had a lot of good players, even some that I haven't talked about yet, but I will talk about in a couple of seconds. This collection, though, was fairly good. These were the best players at the end of November. We had Magic Johnson and Kobe, who were both part of the same 20th anniversary set. We still had Oscar Robertson from October. We managed to get a Drazen Petrovic in that month, who was a limitless range shooter with a J.R. Smith release. Really, really good. Sean Kemp was decent dunker. Obviously, Granger was exceptional. We also had Kareem Day, which I'm not going to touch on too much because Kareem wasn't that great a card, to be completely honest. And then we had Dwight Howard, who just dunked on everybody, and some great budget cards. So, December. Another month, another glitch. So, the Larry Johnson Player of the Month card was released with no badges, and every single stat was 92. Yes, every stat was 92. And to be honest, even without the Hall of Fame badges, this is one of the worst Player of the Month rewards. So I wish they just kept everything at 92, even with no badges, because that would be significantly better than the way that Larry Johnson ended up. Really not a great card, but again, it's free, so you can't really complain too much. And December was the month where people started getting Chris Webber. I'm pretty sure that there were a couple of people that got him at the very end of November, but when a lot of people, the majority, started getting Chris Webber, it was in December. So Chris Webber was, at the time, again, one of, if not the best power forwards in the game. and was an unbelievable card to get by collector awards. And guys like Afro Pig, guys like Raw CP3 were able to get this guy very, very early at the start of that month. Nothing really happened then until Giannis Antetokounmpo came out. So his pink diamond was seen as the card that was going to destroy my team, and to an extent it kind of did. Like, he was probably the best card in my team for a lot of people. Obviously, when you watch 250k tournament, he became a liability. He was kind of easy to stop once you got the hang of the crossover, but if you guys knew at a Euro, he was almost unguardable and was still a fantastic card. However, that same day, we got something we never expected. We got Hedo Turkoglu. And this is not the Hedo Turkoglu you see right now. This was base 11 Hedo Turkoglu. The only card that I know of in my team history to be so overpowered that 2K have had to patch the card. Hedo Turkoglu had a handle. He had the best leaner in the game. He had base 11 and was 6'10" and had a wide body. This was one of the best cards, if not the best card in my team, and he was like 9k MT. This was the best budget card ever. And then pretty much nothing happened until near the end of the month, which was crazy though. The end of December was crazy. So we started off with Michael Jordan, and this card was meh. Not gonna lie, it was really meh. Like, he wasn't any better than the Diamond Kobe Bryant we got from the Magic Johnson packs. He really wasn't great stats wise for a 97 overall, and to be honest, the amount I paid for him, I paid 3 million for him at the time, was a little bit crazy. But the thing is that this Michael Jordan wasn't just a Jordan. It was the last player in 20th anniversary set 1. So me and a lot of others, we got our very first ever Galaxy Opal because of this Michael Jordan card. And my God, was this CP3 bad. And I know so many of you guys are like, oh, CP3 is great, you just don't know how to use him. Like, I do know how to use him. It doesn't mean he's good. Like, you can't use him as a scorer. You can't go to the basket with him. Like, he can defend a little bit, but he still got shot over every single time. Like, at this stage, this was before the shot contest patch, and he literally was impossible to use on defense. And he was just so bad. And not as bad now, but still terrible. And guys, this may be the situation that was the craziest in any My Team history. We've had a lot of crazy things like the Cash Nasty spending $1,000 on LeBron James didn't exist. If you guys saw the locker code and saw what happened there, you guys know that this is what everyone woke up to on Christmas morning. Everyone woke up to a locker code for a free pink diamond LeBron James. So many people in the end, like, this is a bit of a weird one, like Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, pink diamond. No one really knew what this card was for. It was from a promo set, and still to this day, no one knows what it's for. People are saying it was from the toys, but that's not it. Nobody knows where this code came from, but it got leaked. And basically everyone had this free card. The thing is that there was already a LeBron James, a Diamond LeBron, that was significantly better. With Hall of Fame badges, the Diamond LeBron James had much better stats. So everyone was kind of unanimously thinking, okay, this is actually a really good thing. Because one, it's not game breaking. Like, 2K haven't just released a game breaking card, even if it is a glitch, even if it is a leak. Like, 2K have not released a game-breaking card, so it doesn't make much of a difference. And it also means everyone kind of has a good card. And we thought that this was intentional. We thought that 2K were doing this on purpose to get people into My Team and almost like it being a Christmas gift. But no, it was one of the craziest situations in My Team history. Because later that day, on Christmas Day, the card disappeared out of everyone's collections. So 2K literally brought someone into work on Christmas to take a card away from players, and not even that good a card. If this was Giannis, if this was a 99 everything LeBron, understandable. But this was a card that was worse than the 2 LeBrons we already had. 2K ruined Christmas. And genuinely, I got messages from people saying that their little brother got the game and suddenly their LeBron card is gone. And 2K genuinely ruined some people's Christmas days from this. And it is something that, even though 2K did a great job of almost fixing it, I don't think that, for me anyway, they could ever really recover that much reputation-wise from what happened. But to be fair to them, 2K did what they could in terms of fixing this. So they released a couple of locker codes, which were kind of strange in how they were. They were literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just random letters and numbers. But the locker codes were a big help. So, funnily enough, a lot of people got cards better than the LeBron James from the locker code. And it's not even that 2K, like people are complaining about 2K not giving back, because they did. 2K gave us more than enough with those Christmas locker codes. Those Sting Stevens' Day, 26th of December locker codes. They gave us more than enough to basically combat the fact that they took away our LeBron Jameses. And it's not even that a lot of people had a problem with, especially me. It was that they literally brought someone into work on Christmas Day. Like, what? Like, there were so many glitch cards, like when people got Shaq for free for completing a challenge, when people got Rick Barry, which I'll talk about later, for basically free, and nothing was done to stop any of them. But a pink diamond LeBron James that isn't even that good, suddenly they need to take it away. That's unforgivable. It is unforgivable. But to be fair, the end of December was unbelievable because of that. Because 2K had to pull out all the stops because of what they did with the LeBron James. So 2K ended up giving everyone a free pink diamond card from the 20th anniversary set. The problem was that Giannis is in the corner, and the single worst pink diamond in the game at that time, Ben Wallace, was one beside him, and then Allen Iverson. So I was literally just dropping down the middle, trying to get Magic Johnson, and on PS4, somehow I dropped down the middle and got Giannis. But I got Magic on Xbox, sold him for like 60k, so I was happy. And then a couple of days later, they actually gave us a free This Day in History card. So the This Day in History cards at this stage were not great. We had the base 11 Bob Pettit, but it was a kind of a good sign. 2K realized that they were kind of screwed, a lot of bad publicity, so they gave us a lot of free stuff. So again, it's not too bad. And then we ended the year on one of the most hyped cards for 2K19. Like, you guys may not think of this at the time, but coming into 2K19, Brandon Roy and Gilbert Arenas was a huge thing. We hadn't seen them in years. And not only did they give us a Gilbert Arenas card, they gave him base 11. And not only base 11, the quickest base 11 release in the game with Limitless range. Was the first base 11 Limitless player in the game. The first one that you were able to purchase in the auction house until Antoine Jameson in July, I think. This card was exceptional and a great way to end 2018. And these were some of the best cards at the end of December. Obviously, not that many great cards in terms of December as a month. However, Giannis was a significant upgrade from even Danny Granger, to be honest, before we figured out about base 11, and Gilbert Arenas was a great card. So, while it doesn't seem like too many new additions, still a couple of nice cards that month. So now we're on to January, where the pink diamond for the player of the month was Hakeem Olajuwon. So Hakeem, a fairly good card, nothing spectacular, but still quite good. However, he was straight away trumped by Ralph Sampson, who came out in the triple-double packs 3D a couple of days later. These packs weren't that relevant. Trevor Ariza was a great, severe budget player. Ralph Sampson was good. Larry Bird was alright, and the rest of the cards, not great. Oscar Robertson had a slow release, so not a great card for that one. And then we got our first ever pink diamond that was available through This Day in History set, which were all locker codes, which was kind of interesting. George Mikan was not a bad card at all. Trust me, this card was not bad. Had the amateur release, good shooter, and I'm pretty sure his Opal is a fantastic card, just a card that I did not use. And straight away after that, we got our second Galaxy Opal. Whereas we had Will Chamberlain in the past, I'm not going to lie, this one is significantly better. Worthy is significantly better than Will Chamberlain, and was just an incredible card. Worthy was like one of the first cards in this game that you could say were like almost untouchable in this game. Like, he had base 11, he had strength, he had the post game, he had defense, he had a handle. Like, there was almost nothing you could do, especially pre-shot contest patch. Especially around the time this card came out in January, February, when there was no shot contest. And he would just destroy everybody. He was like Kirilenko on steroids, an incredible card. Now we are on to our next creator showcase, and this is a guy who was a bit like Smoothie, but a little bit later. This was the guy who got the first Chris Webber as well as the first J.R. Smith, and it is Raw CP3. So Raw CP3 is a Twitch streamer, partner streamer, and also a YouTuber with 8,000 subscribers. So basically, he was the first guy to get this J.R. Smith card. He's the first guy to get a lot of the cards. I don't think he was the first guy to get Giannis, but I think he didn't really go for first Giannis. But this guy grinded an unbelievable amount. Made sure he got every card, was grinding triple threat, was grinding pretty much everything in order to get these cards as soon as possible. And the fact that he did get hundreds of thousands of views in these videos was well deserved. An Australian YouTuber, a non-American YouTuber like myself, and it was great to see him succeed, so check out his channel. Also that month, we got a Brandon Roy. So Brandon Roy, honestly, was one of the most hyped cards I've ever seen in my team. Like for years, people have been asking about Brandon Roy. The diamond one was alright, like nothing spectacular, but this pink diamond was another level, especially the signature limited. You guys got that signature limited, you guys got limitless range on him. That card's almost as good as the Opal, a fantastic card right there. And all of these Brandon Roy cards were beasts, and it was just kind of crazy that a card we hadn't seen, base 8, great shooter, and unreal. These were the best cards in the game for the month of February. So Giannis and Danny Granger stay as the best small forwards. We actually just added in Klay Thompson because I started using him and started really liking him. We got a new Penny Hardaway who was fairly good. Brandon Roy was in there, Anthony Davis was in there, and obviously Samson, Nilgauskas, and Porzingis, who all came out that month. Then for February, we got Dr. J. Dr. J was probably the best of all the rewards, even though not a lot of people were that bothered by this specific card. I very rarely came up against Dr. J, and I don't think he was used. I think maybe one team used him in the 250k tournament, but Dr. J was definitely kind of an afterthought, which was a little bit of a sad thing because he could shoot the ball. He was lights out. I actually managed to get him on my own account like day one, which was kind of crazy, but he was a lights out shooter, could do almost everything you needed from a player in game, and he was kind of outshadowed for this one reason. There was an Opal that came out on the same day, and it was Isaiah Thomas. And ironically enough, this card, when he came out, was awful. Like, it's okay now. Like, not the worst Opal, but anywhere near it right now. However, when this card came out, it was before the Shocking Death patch, and 6-foot tall point guards were literally unusable. Anyone could shoot over them, and that was the problem with Isaiah Thomas. So everyone had all this kind of like hype about getting a free Opal, and the card in the end turned out to be absolutely terrible, which is kind of crazy. Then a couple of days later, Shaquille O'Neal came out. And this one was a kind of interesting card, because no one would ever use Shaq to dominate. And some people loved it, some hated it. But this card I like to call the Will Chamberlain check. So there was very few cards that could guard the Opal Will Chamberlain at this stage. There was very few good centers. Even Kareem couldn't guard him. However, Shaq was big enough, strong enough, had a wide enough body, and good enough animations that Shaq could hold zone against Wilt. However, Shaq brought nothing on offense and allowed people to off-ball on centers, which is a kind of dangerous thing to allow players to do. Which is why you didn't see many people using him. People that did use him effectively. Just like turn up defense in the 250k tournament, used him to guard Wilt, and he was able to do that effectively. Shaq set screens, caught lobs, and was a lot better than I gave him credit for. Then we got the Chinese New Year's packs. The Josh Smith card was fairly good, still expensive to this day. Jeremy Lin was awful, yeah, it was meh. T-Mac was still one of the best cards in the game by a significant amount when he came out. He was like 400k for quite a while. We also got some unreal budget cards. We got E.G. and Lee and Michael Beasley, who were incredible budget cards. Al Harrington was alright. Then we got Moutier and Zhou Qi. Zhou Qi was the best emerald card in the game. Probably still is the best emerald card in the game. A fantastic card, and was like the last great emerald we got in this game. But arguably the biggest thing that happened in the month of February was the 250k tournament. And I don't really have any clips of the qualifiers, but I'm going to talk about the entire final tournament. I'm going to talk about that here. So basically, I don't know much about the Xbox side. All I know is that Skip came through it. But on the PS4 side, there was severe server issues. Games couldn't be played East versus West. Guys like Uncool Maddie or Brown Boy, guys like Goggles, Ginsanity were lagging the entire tournament. And same with guys like Valor, TJ, or Day. It was just a battle. It became a battle basically on the PS4 side of who could play best through lag. And fair play to turn up defense. He ended up coming through it, and he dominated that side of the bracket. Had a tough game against Crymouse. He beat Splash in the in the semi-final, beat Goggles in the final. But I don't even know what that tournament said, because these guys were all elite players. Any one of those 16 could have won on any given day. However, the fact is we didn't even get to see who the best player of the 16 was because lag was such a big factor. The fact that 2K didn't make this a LAN event was an absolute joke. And then it came to the actual event itself, which I think 2K put on a great job with this final. The game for 250k. But there was a lot of stuff that honestly I think was just a complete joke. From the fact that Skip's controller just wouldn't work for most of the first quarter of the game. The fact that the players were playing on TVs instead of monitors, and if you guys have ever played on both, you guys know how big a factor that is. And also the fact that it was 250 or nothing. So Skip obviously ended up winning it. He was the 250k champion. Fair play to Turn Up Defense, who ended up winning the 2K League as part of the Minnesota Timberwolves team. So he made back a lot of that money that he lost in this tournament. But at the same time, like, Turn Up, I'm not sure what he got. He got a gift bag, and he got questioned by Ronnie and asked if he feels the crowd love. It was just a little bit ridiculous, the fact that it was 250k or nothing. But again, that's just the way the tournament was. And I'm just praying the 2K do a better job of this in the future. Because the fact that I think there were 60,000 people at one stage watching this live stream, watching these two guys play MyTEAM against each other, and I think that if they do something similar this year, or similar in 2K20, that it could be twice as big and could be a massive step in promoting competitive MyTEAM, which I think is going to be huge. I think that guys like Tyler Debo, I think guys like TJ Erday, I think a lot of other guys can blow up off competitive MyTEAM, as you guys may have seen from TJ with his Twitch Rivals. He won the Twitch Rivals tournament and his Twitch has been banging since. So I think that it's only going to go up and up competitive MyTEAM. They don't have to put up to 250k like for one tournament, but split a couple tournaments throughout a year, or even use that money to fly in people and have a big LAN tournament, because competitive MyTEAM is only on the way up. It's only going up and up, and I think just at the way the 250k tournament was ran this year was just a complete disaster. However, I don't think it was a bad idea, and I hope that there's something just on a bigger scale next year. And if you guys want to break down on how this final went, basically Turn Up is up 1 and blows a 92 rated free throw with Andrei Kirilenko. Like, the fact that RNG was that big a factor in 250 grand, life-changing amount of money, and RNG is that big a deal. But Turn Up was in control the whole game. But fair play to Skip. He did come back. He played composed, and he got a big shot right there with Michael Jordan, which was unreal. In the last 13.5 seconds, even though you guys may think that this was quite a bad shot by Turn Up Defense, he puts up what I think is a fairly good shot. While you guys may not think that leaning threes are great in this game, with the way that guys like Turn Up time shots, that is a good shot. And he ended up losing game 1 pretty much by a missed free throw by Kirilenko. In game 2, Skip controlled pretty much the whole time. Turn Up kept it close, but fair play to him. Skip held his nerve, and in those two games, definitely Skip deserved the win and the 250 grand. But in between the 250k tournament and the finals, 2K, they done goofed. They released a Kobe Bryant Signature Series pack, 20th anniversary pack, when literally the card was not in the game. The card was not in the game. So, like, obviously they took down the packs after like 20 minutes, but I opened as many as I could. But they released the packs, they basically leaked the card before he was in the game, and they've done this multiple times. No one got refunds, which is kind of a bad move on 2K's part, the fact that that happened more than once. However, a couple of days later, the Pink Diamond Kobe, they'd come out. And Kobe was decent, I guess. Like, he was better than the MJ, definitely. Didn't have Limitless range, which was not great. And to be honest, the Pink Diamond Kobe that came out a little bit later is significantly better. But again, that's always going to be the case. The later a card comes out, the better they're going to be. But I didn't really like this card, but it was by no means a bad card. However, on the same day, the Magic Johnson came out. His Magic was arguably the best point guard in the game when he came out, and was still one of the best point guards for months after he came out. He came out in February. Like, this would be the best card in 2K17. He came out in February. A Magic Johnson who you could get a 99 3-point shot with. Unbelievable stats all around, and the fact that this card came out in February just summed up the way 2K19 was going. Then we got the Diamond, Ruby, whatever the hell was going on with these Karl Anthony Towns packs fiasco. So 90% of people got error codes in their locker codes when they typed in this. However, for the people that got them, it was a big picture of Diamond Karl Anthony Towns. But in the description it said for a chance of Karl Anthony Towns. There was a big picture of Diamond Karl Anthony Towns everywhere, and they didn't they were all packs. Everyone assumed you got a Diamond Karl Anthony Towns. And there was uproar. Like 99% of people that opened these packs, either A, their card just didn't show up, or B, they got a Ruby Karl Anthony Towns who was worth 1k MT. Like, there was so much hype about this locker code. I can't remember what it was. I think it was during the 250k tournament. Ronnie made people stay up hours for a Ruby. Then the Dwayne Wade signature packs came out, and I'm a massive Dwayne Wade fan, big Heat fan, one of my favorite players of all time, if not my favorite, but Beta release 6'4". Wasn't great when he came out, still isn't great, even the better version Dwayne Wade, and we still have not seen an Opal. I have a feeling we may actually finish by seeing a Galaxy Opal Dwayne Wade as the last ever card. Then was a great glitch that they never fixed. So as you guys can see there's Rick Barry Pink Diamond, and Rick Barry also has got a Ruby card. For some reason, when the Pink Diamond Rick Barry came out, they literally just put him in the Ruby market, in the Ruby rewards. So for 12 tokens, I jumped on it straight away. As you guys can see, I have 5 of the rubies at this stage. I had 13 tokens, so I had 25 tokens at this stage. Like, almost none. So you guys are thinking, oh, I definitely don't have a pink diamond. I have Rick Barry. And to this day, I still have Rick Barry in this account. And to this day, I'm still not even on the diamond board. So a great glitch for me anyway. But it's just kind of crazy that they just replaced the ruby with a pink diamond for no apparent reason. One of the many crazy things that happened in 2K19. Then we got a Galaxy Opal Walt Frazier. This Walt Frazier was just like James Worthy. A card that would have been really good just based on his stats and just the fact that with their normal animations. However, just like Worthy, they gave him base 11. So we had 2 base 11 Opals when your alternative was a center. So, and while at the time it could have been debated a little bit because there wasn't that many great centers of which of the Opals were great to pick, I'd say everyone who around February, March picked up Will Chamberlain right before the kind of influx of great centers kind of is kicking themselves right now when you get a lot of great players. And then 2K decided after months of not releasing dynamic duos, and this is what they always do. They don't release dynamic duos for months at a time, and then when they do, they drop like 30 of them. Yes, they'll drop like 30, maybe even more. I'm pretty sure they drop more with the dynamic duo packs, and this happens every single year. So it's not really necessarily me complaining, it's just kind of one of those things where you're like, dynamic duos are such a big part of the game, and the biggest thing was at this stage, dynamic duos didn't work as far as I know. I'm pretty sure it literally took until they released the next big batch of dynamic duos for them to do anything in game. I'm pretty sure it didn't even work. And these are the best cards on like the 1st of March. Ignore the LeBron James and Scottie Pippen, but the rest of these guys were out in February. Arvydas Sabonis was a beast of a card. Kyle Kuzma from his All-Star pack was really good. Kevin Durant was really good in the All-Star packs. A lot of the All-Star cards were good, but just not like absolutely elite. And then, yeah, so the start of March started off with proof that overall meant nothing. We had the Diamond Kawhi Leonard, who was significantly better than the Pink Diamond. The Pink Diamond Kawhi just couldn't shoot at all. We got a Scottie Pippen who was a buyout straight away and was one of the best cards in the game, one of the best defensive cards in the game. So that was unreal. And then we also got a LeBron James card who was fantastic. Like, Gold Limitless Reign felt like Hall of Fame. This was without doubt one of the best cards in my team and a card I really enjoyed using at the time, and not that much worse than his other Pink Diamond, to be completely honest. This is a great card. And then we got the Madness packs. This was the beginning of the end. This was when we got some super OP players, and I actually made a video predicting that it was going to be exactly what happened. I made a video saying is like 2K are just going to keep outdoing themselves, and within the next 2 months the market's going to die. People were literally like going crazy at me, saying like, you're wrong, the market hasn't crashed. Where's the market crash? You make the market crash yourself. I'm like, no, I literally made a video saying the market is going to gradually crash over time, and it did. And for those who listened, you have millions of MT right now for selling your players. But yeah, unbelievable packs, and the GOAT Thurl Bailey was also in them. And another time, 2K for reward cards, they go and change a release. So Oscar Robertson, nobody locked in this card because they thought he was going to be terrible. But 2K gave him the Amateur 1 release, I think it's called, and he just became lights out. Oscar Robertson's other cards had such slow releases, and this was just a fantastic Oscar Robertson card. Could shoot the ball, could do everything, and an updated release meant he was one of the best point guards, if not the best in the game. And now we are on to another creators showcase, and this is arguably the biggest kind of growth of anyone in NBA 2K19, between him and Henry. It is Carlos. So Carlos blew up around December and just kept the momentum alive. One of the biggest MyTEAM creators right now. March was really the month of Carlos' story though. He was one of the first people in the world to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, did a collab with Cash Nasty, as well as Jester Laser used his account. And it was also a time where he got 100,000 subscribers. And you guys might think 100,000 is a big idea. I've hit it since, Henry's hit it since, Kills and Moyle hit it soon enough. However, nobody in the MyTEAM community, well, made just MyTEAM videos between Caldy in August 2017 and Carlos in March 2019 hit 100k. It showed how dead MyTEAM was, and it showed kind of MyTEAM was still alive, so gave guys like me hope. And we've gone from that positive to a negative. Hedo being patched. Hedo Turkaloo, not necessarily saying he's a bad release. I still love Hedo's release, still one of the best cards in the game. But the Hedo that we knew was gone. The Hedo Turkaloo that was the most overpowered offensive player in MyTEAM history. The base 11 Hedo, gone but never forgotten. One of the most overpowered cards in MyTEAM history. The only card I've ever seen in MyTEAM to get a nerf from 2K. There were a lot of players this year that you thought could have been nerfed, like not giving Shaq an 88 3-point shot, but no. 2K realized the power of Hedo, and they took one thing away from him, but it doesn't matter. He may not have base 11, but he still has the leaner. And then there was this kind of weird glitch from Jake and Bake. I think he's another YouTuber, but I use his account for gameplay. A lot of other people did. But for some reason, 2K gave him 5 fake cards. Like, I know the Kobe existed in the end, but at the time, it wasn't a real card. He had like 99 offense and terrible defense. But, like, yeah, he literally gave him 5 fake cards for some reason, and I genuinely still to this day have no idea why 2K support keep doing that. Then Vince Carter came out. And Vince Carter is one of those cards for me that everyone loves the card. I hate him. I hate Vince Carter. I can never use him. I don't know why. I'm just so bad at Vince Carter. But yeah, this was again another super hyped player. And this was seen by a lot of people, especially Limited, as one of the best cards in the game. The Limited is still almost as good as the Galaxy Opal. So the fact we got a card like that in March again, it kind of shows the way MyTEAM was going, and it shows just how many OP cards there was going to be. And then there was 2K's yearly challenge for the Diamond Manager Nobly. It seems like every year 2K just have one challenge. In 2K17 we had Jeremy Lin, in 2K18 we had Shaq, and 2K19 we had Manu. Please 2K, give more of these. This was a solid but not exceptional card, a really easy card to get, and a guy that was used in a load of people's budget squads. 2K, please do more things like this. This was one of the best things in the year. Like challenges for new players. We need more of this. We need more, not great, but fairly good players available by challenges. We need more of that. And then later on, a couple of days later, we got Blake Griffin. I think it may have actually been the next day. Blake Griffin Opal. And this card changed the game. This card genuinely changed the whole of NBA 2K19 MyTEAM, the landscape of it all. Never had we seen a speed boosting, dunking shooter like that. With the wide body, his strength, him at point guard was one of the most overpowered things I've ever seen in MyTEAM. Blake Griffin was as good a card as there had ever been in MyTEAM. However, like there were so many better guys in it now, but at the time was one of the best cards we had ever seen. And even though I know there was a few other cards like Kevin Durant came out that day, the biggest card that came out as well as him was Ruby Mo Bamba. He was the first of the holy trinity of rubies. Mo Bamba, especially when he was released. I'm certain he was nerfed. They didn't change the release, but he went from greening everything to greening very little. I'm certain that card was nerfed, and everyone says it in my comments as well. But yeah, so Mo Bamba was an unbelievable shot blocker. He has the longest arms in the game. Like, he literally looks like an old demigod from other 2K games. Can shoot the lights out. Can play a little bit inside, rebound, and one of, if not the best shot blockers I've ever used. And then, yeah, these were the best cards for the month of March. Kevin Durant, a really good small forward. T-Mac still in there. Clyde Drexler, who came out around the same time. A really great card. Greg Oden as well. Greg Oden was just one of the most underrated cards in the game for so long. Still is. And this was kind of a month of almost the end game players. Then we're on to April, where the player of the month was Wes Unseld. Like, I genuinely didn't even talk about the player of the month for March, which was Jason Williams. That card was absolutely terrible. But Wes Unseld, I kind of wish they'd made him be able to speed boost, because being 6'7" is too undersized for a center. I know you guys might be saying that would be unrealistic, but it's 2K19 MyTEAM. Nothing's realistic. This card would have been really nice. Like, low speed with ball, unable to speed boost. If he could do one of those two things, he would have been a solid card, but Again, a bit of fun to use. Not the worst card because it was released, but not a great card either. But again, it's free, so I can't complain. Then, the first Friday of April was the Hall of Famers pack. These cards were so good. We had Alex English, who's a beast. We had Richie Guerin, who's still one of the most expensive cards in the game. Tracy McGrady, Pink Diamond, a beast. David Robinson, incredible. And to be honest, the reason why Guerin's expensive right now is because the reward, Karl Malone, is still to this day a beast in my team. So Karl Malone has handles. He's got strength. One of the best releases in the game. I know you guys might be wondering why the strength makes a difference. Apparently, it makes it much harder to bump people and to get bump steals. He had gold, well, you could put gold Limitless on him and it felt like it was almost Hall of Fame. He was one of the best, if not the best power forwards in the game until probably the middle of June. And then, straight away after that, the next day was the badge glitch. I don't know how it happened. I genuinely don't know how it happened. Like, apparently for like 3 hours, Kirilenko lost base 11. But yeah, so basically, there was a badge glitch where people were putting Hall of Fame badges on basically everyone. I think 2K fixed it on all systems, including PC. But as you guys can see here, I've got a Danny Granger with Hall of Fame Limitless range. And that happened with a lot of players. There was a load of like weird 20 Hall of Fame badge players on the market. And I still don't know how it happened, but it did. There was just a glitch that let people put extra badges on players. Throughout the rest of the month anyway, like 2K released some more token rewards. Pettit, obviously the first Limitless range non-point card with base 11, which is unbelievable. And Trevor Ariza was a great budget card. 2K also released the throwback playoff moments cards. These ones weren't particularly great. Bruce Bowen was good, J.R. Smith was good, but they were signing things to come. And then also the Kyrie Irving Limited, or sorry, the 20th anniversary. That 20th anniversary Kyrie is the most expensive card in my team right now. Kristaps the beast, Grant Hill, unbelievable. And probably the best out of all of them was the Ruby Thon Maker. Like, Thon Maker was just unbelievable. Still is. Like, offensively, he's as good as any center in this game. A fantastic release. For some reason, he can speed boost. He's got the Giannis crossover. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but Giannis does it a lot, so that's what I'm going to call it. He had handles. He could shoot. He could do everything. He could score the basket, block shots. A little bit weak, but that's about it. He was number 2 of the Holy Trinity of Ruby cards with Mo Bamba. So we're going to end the month on another one of the Creator Showcase. And it is going to be one of, if not the most popular series for NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. Sure, there are like series that get more views, but they're from like million subscriber channels. This was a guy who at the time had like 25,000 subscribers. It is HTB Gaming or Henry the Blasian. His No Money Spent series has gotten him the guts of 80,000 subscribers, and to be honest, he fully deserves it. I've never seen a series worked as hard on as that. The guy would spend hours on snipes, like genuinely would put raps in the middle of the songs, and I assume all you guys know who he is or have watched one of his videos. Every single episode in this series, there's like 25 of them, all have more views than total subscribers, all over 100,000, 106,000 views, which is nuts for a channel that size. And the end of April was the birth of one of the biggest series in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. So at the end of the month, these were my opinions for the best cards. Penny Hardaway was coming close to Magic Johnson, who kind of had a stronghold there. We had Michael Jordan, who came at the very start of May, but T-Mac a little bit behind him. Grant Hill, Kevin Durant, Karl Malone, Blake Griffin, Arvydas Sabonis, Jokic, all really great cards. And to be honest, I don't know why MJ's there. Obviously, I must have made this list a couple of days into May, but you can replace him with anyone from a previous month. And then we are on to May. So the player of the month reward was David Thompson. And this was another kind of a bit of a weird one, because David Thompson, a lot of people were really upset about him. And through all the years past, everyone's hated David Thompson's release. And including me, I have hated it in years past. However, one thing I didn't take into account. We are so used to using base 11 that we're all able to use as fast release as possible. For this reason, I was suddenly able to time his release 10 times better than I have in previous years. And this is by far the best I've been with a David Thompson since the blow-by in 2K18. And actually, no, his 17 card is probably better, but this card was still a beast. A really, really great card. One of the most underrated collection rewards. And if you discount the Opals, could be right up there with the best of them. So a really great card. But the 2nd of May was the big addition. Reggie Lewis. If you guys know anything about this channel, you guys know Reggie Lewis was the original GOAT. I had 5,000 subscribers. It was January 2017, and they released the Wingmen packs. Everyone was talking about Tracy McGrady. I only used Reggie Lewis, and I destroyed T-Mac every single time with that card. Since then, Reggie Lewis has always been one of my favorite cards in 2K. I really like his release, and this is the best version of Reggie Lewis we've ever seen. A few days later, we got Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and I was actually I was the first person to get a gameplay out with the normal version, and was one of the first people to pack him. And the limited was a different story, which is why I'm going on to a creator showcase for Shiro Gohan 5. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but this is a guy who Troydan hacked his account. He is the best pack look I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure he's packed all 3 limiteds. Like, that is nuts. Shiro Gohan is the guy who a lot of people have used accounts. I used his account to get 2 limited gameplay, and he actually sold Michael Jordan for like tens of millions. And this guy kind of started a debate about account sharing. I personally think there's nothing wrong with it. And this guy has helped a bunch of YouTubers. And by doing that, he managed to get a collab with Troydan, a collab with Cash Nasty, and grow by over 10,000 subscribers in his first 2 months, which is unheard of. So again, another guy to look out for in 2K20. And yeah, I just remember this. This was not a great stream. This was not a great day for my team. This picture has popped up on my screen, but the Ronnie 2KG squad. A great day for the DBG channel because this video got a hell of a lot of views, but yeah, it just kind of summed up the way 2K, even the people that work for the game play it. A couple of days later, 2K released 9 duos, and while that itself is almost irrelevant, this was the first time in the year they actually worked. Dynamic duos actually worked. Then, this was a card that a lot of people might think, oh, it's just a good card. This was kind of a changing of the way they rated cards. Some cards were somewhat realistic. Dave Cowens was in the 70s. I don't even think I've ever seen him hit a mid-range shot when looking at his highlights. But 2K released him as their like marquee player one of the days. And the thing is with that, was not only was he the marquee player, they had to make him great. And no matter what stats they gave him, no one was going to use him. So what they did, they made him a base 11 player. And I'm pretty sure he is still the only left-handed base 11 player in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. One of my favorite cards still. Then we ended up getting a Galaxy Opal PG, the second pullable Galaxy Opal, and to be honest, I pulled him as well, and I just thought that it was like, meh, it's just another player. You got to the stage where Opals kind of didn't mean as much as they had previously, but they were still really rare. And also that day, we got the last player in the holy trinity of budget players, Jonathan Isaac, the best of them all. Isaac, a 6'11 small forward who a lot of people ran a point guard, one of the best defensive players in the game, and even pro 2K players. Shump, Boo Painter, literally said to me, he's like, the only person that can guard Opal Giannis is Jonathan Isaac. This card is incredible. And a couple of days later, finally someone used an all Opal squad, all 99 overall, and it was me, but it wasn't my account. It took genuinely till the middle of May, and then Opals within the next 2 weeks were just nothing. And this was kind of the stage where 2K started going crazy with locker codes. So basically, Carmelo Anthony was previously a million MT, was the hardest player to get in the Madness set, and a lot of people did want the Oscar Robertson. So he was around a million MT. And then 2K just dropped the locker code for him. They did the same thing with the Flight School Diamond Michael Jordan for Sean Kemp, and it kind of showed you should never sit on players, and cards values were never safe in this game. And then the Generation Next packs came out. My god. These packs had some great cards. They're all great. There was no bad cards in this set. But the standouts were the 3-point shooting Ben Simmons, which was the most ridiculous thing we'd ever seen at the time. And also, the guy who had never played an NBA game, the rookie demigod that was Michael Porter Jr. They made him a power forward for some reason, but this guy was a demigod. Not even that much worse than Simmons. His was one of the best cards in the game. And until they started going crazy with Opals, was my favorite card to use on PS4. Was fantastic in this game. Then started one of the craziest weeks in terms of just how the whole game changed. So first of all, we got the Galaxy Opal Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that suddenly meant that Will Chamberlain wasn't even a top 3 or 4 center in the game. And then we got a Limitless range center for the first time ever. Not that relevant, but again, a Limitless range center. We then got Andrei Kirilenko, who was already a beast, suddenly auctionable, which was crazy. You needed 1,000 cards to get him previously. Then we got a Limitless range Derrick Rose, Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. And then we got an arguably better center than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, making Will Chamberlain, the 750 token card, obsolete. And then we also, the next day, we got token rewards. We got Clyde, we got Kevin McHale and Gary Payton. And then a couple of days later, we got Kobe Bryant. The limited one was supposedly a lot better than the normal Galaxy Opal, but for some reason I just could not use the limited. I am not a big fan of Kobe Bryant cards in this game. I don't know why. Like, I should be a fan of them. I'm not. I just amn't. There was 81 of these cards. I got a gameplay out very, very quickly with him, and I struggled big time. He wasn't hitting his leaners. He just wasn't hitting shots that he should have been hitting for a 99 overall card. And these are the best cards in the month of May. I was using T-Mac more and more and put him ahead of Michael Jordan and even the limited Kobe Bryant. And then, obviously, this must have been the start of June, considering the fact Hedo Turkoglu is on this list. Obviously, I've been making these lists a little bit into the months. But, yeah, so Ben Simmons was a beast. Kirilenko, incredible. David Robinson, a beast. And this is still a god squad to this day, I'd say. So June was the first time we got an Opal Player of the Month reward, one of the first free Opals you could get. And it was Gervin, who wasn't even a bad Opal, a fairly good card. They actually updated his release, so he ended up being a good card. Easily the best Player of the Month card we'd seen up to that point, and a card that I was happy to have gotten day one. And next up is our Creator Showcase, a My League guy who seems to have completely taken over my team. And honestly is my prediction for being the next My Team YouTuber to break 500k. How did he do it? Well, you're not going to guess it. He pretty much did it using marbles. Yeah, marbles. You know those things that you see in your recommended every day, those marble races? One of, honestly, the most interesting things ever to watch, even though I don't know why. But this guy, he linked up marbles on Steam with my team, and it just became an absolute revelation. 1.5 million view video, which is incredible, as well as 1 million plus views from this series. He is going to blow up in 2K20, trust me. And then, early in the month, we got him. We got Hedo Turkoglu. They may have taken away his base 11 and not given it back to him for the diamond, but you know what they couldn't take away? One word, 6 letters. You guys know what it is. It is the Hedo Turkoglu leaner. One of the most overpowered things in my team. The Limitless range combined with the normal 4 leaner means you could literally just pull from anywhere. And the crazy thing is that for about 2 weeks, you could use not only one Hedo, you could use 2 Hedos at the same time. The double Hedo glitch. The most fun I've ever had playing my team was using these 2 guys at the same time, to be completely honest. And then, 2 days later, they released the game for $3. The welcome packs came out. The guaranteed diamonds, the guaranteed pink diamonds. And this was the beginning of the end for my team until probably maybe the 10th of July or so. This is a rough time. This was a rough time. A rough time for people playing the game. Not enough a rough time for the hype, because this game was as hyped as ever. And the servers were bad. So 2K released 7 Galaxy Opals in one day, which is, we'd never seen the likes of that before. And then you guys know what the story is. They released even free Galaxy Opal locker codes, which was nice. Like, 2K's content was great. Their servers were just broken. Like, literally, they did not work. Like, fair enough. I got this card. 90% of people got error codes. Then they released the draft day packs. The draft day packs were a complete, like, they were like nothing we'd ever seen before. Diamonds were the lowest tier you could get. The pink diamonds were Limitless range Jason Tatum, who was way better in the diamond one, and Oscar Robertson, who was significantly better in pink diamond. A Opal Lonzo. We got an Opal Lonzo Ball. AD was alright. Like, AD was okay, but Lonzo is still a fantastic card. Hakeem was a beast of a card. These packs, everyone wanted to open. Everyone wanted to sell these cards, buy these cards. But the thing is, you just couldn't. Because the auction house broke. The auction house broke. And I don't have any videos detailing the fact that the auction house completely broke when cards just weren't disappearing off it. This may have been before or after this. But you literally could not bid on a card at this stage. It was absolutely crazy. And for weeks, this happened for weeks. And like, your cards were literally, like, you had to actually go through hostage negotiations to try get your cards out of the auction house. It was crazy. But then, even while the game was glitched, and to be fair, I was really happy just in terms of a YouTuber, but if you're just a player, this could kind of frustrate you. 2K released basically everything on one day. They released Shaquille O'Neal. They released T-Mac Opal, Dirk Opal, Dr. J Opal, and all the reward Opals. And not only that, they gave Shaq a 3-point shot. Yes, they gave Shaquille O'Neal, a guy who has hit 1 3-pointer in his NBA career, a 3-point shot, 88 rating. To be fair though, Simmons has hit none, they gave him the same rating, so it's not that unrealistic if you compare it to Simmons. And then they released so many token rewards, like so many diamonds, so many pink diamonds, so many amethysts, including a Brian Scalabrine. And this is just something, this was just literally the most hyped day of MyTEAM history. And if you guys don't believe it, if you just, all our YouTube channels like double their normal view count, it was a crazy, crazy day. And one of the most fun days I've had, because there were so many cards. Scalabrine was great. And there was a lot of times like I didn't want many of the opals. I got the opals I wanted and didn't really want a lot of them. So I was searching through all the pink diamonds. I was going through all the diamonds trying to find all the gems. It was such a fun day for me, MyTEAM wise. Some great opals like T-Mac came as well. And they were cheap because so many people were opening packs. And it was just such a pity that the servers were so bad, because June could have been an exceptional month, but the servers really did take its toll. And these, in my opinion, were the best cards that you could buy. Obviously, the signature MJ, not the other MJ. LeBron was a beast. Paul George was incredible. AK-47, Kareem, Shaq. So many great cards came out. And I genuinely thought, I was like, they can't get much better. August or July can't be any better cards-wise, content-wise than June. And to be honest, I'm going to say I was wrong. So in July, we got Rudy Gay as our reward for going 12-0. And this Rudy Gay, again, another fantastic card. I personally think that the George Gervin's better, but that is all personal preference. Rudy Gay is still brilliant. Really nice release, really great dunker. And one of those players that when you see people Rudy Gay with how much people sweated recently, you know they're a fairly decent player at worst in this game. And then a couple of days later, that Friday, they released the Ultimate Packs. And the Ultimate Packs had some unbelievable cards. Pink Diamond was the lowest tier. Those cards were like 3,000 MT. And the unfortunate thing was again, this could have been a great couple of days. And in terms of like views and hype, it was. But the servers just broke again. Like the servers have been working for a couple of days and they just completely broke. And it was a little bit different. Like searching just didn't work. So as you guys can see, I'm just flicking through cards. If I put the buyout price at like 9,500 MT, I couldn't find anything. But I used to have to go up to like 13, 14,000. And it suddenly tons of them would come up. It was a really weird thing. No one knew what to sell players for. It wasn't as bad as it was in June, but still not great. Servers were still bad. And then this was the day I got back from America. It was the Antoine Jameson day. So 2K basically gave us Bob Pettit that was available in the auction house. And after a couple of days, he was like 30k because of the dynamic duo packs. And not only that, he could also play with the other Antoine Jameson, who was still a fairly good card. So you could run with 2 Antoine Jamesons, and I'm not even sure if that's fixed to this day. Then 2K released dynamic duo packs. These packs every year completely destroy the market. And in fairness, it's fine. Like they released them in the middle of July, so there is no point like really complaining about that happening. Probably the market being destroyed in the middle of July is better because it means you can kind of use cards you may not have been able to use and you may not have thought you're going to be able to use. So yeah, this is such a significant event in the year because the market just dies. We then had a scare. So it was looking like Dragan Bender was signing for CSKA Moscow in Russia. It was a tough day for me. It was a tough day because if you guys don't know, Dragan's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And it was definitely a relief when I found that he joined the Milwaukee Bucks and he is going to be in 2K20, because I'm not even sure if a 2K without Dragan Bender is worth playing. This guy is the GOAT. Even as a silver, he can dominate against... He really dominate against Emerald and below. If he even had an Emerald, I'd still probably be using him in my squad. That's how good his animations are in this game. So the fan favorites packs were released by 2K, and I still am in shock that there's no Opal Hedo Turkoglu. I'm living in hope that they release it with whenever they release Opal Wade, but gotta assume at this stage it's not coming, even though Hedo was in those packs. But these were all great cards, including Isaac Bonga. Isaac freaking Bonga, 97 overall. If you guys told me at the start of the year and we would be using an Isaac Bonga an end game, and it would be arguably the second best point guard in the game, I would have said you were crazy. But no, that's what 2K have done, and I am delighted they did it. I'm delighted at the end of the year, when the game's kind of dead, that they just release unrealistic players of cards that people just have fun using. So an unbelievable few days. Then they released the Galaxy Opal Giannis, so the people that didn't end up grinding for the 2,500 tokens were able to use a card that was somewhat comparable to the other Opal Giannis, even though the 2,500 one is still significantly better. And I'm delighted about this again, because as you guys know, heat check cards, I didn't pick them up when they were in packs initially, and I don't have the MD to get them right now. They're literally all extinct on PC, even still, since they're back in packs. But again, it's really kind of good. It's been a really enjoyable kind of end to my team for me anyway, which is rare, because a lot of years I just want to stop playing in August. This year, I don't even mind playing it right now. And these, in my opinion, are the best cards you can buy in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. Sure, there are better cards. There is the Giannis. That's about it. The other Giannis. I'd say these are better than all the token rewards. And yeah, so this was like my final top 5 most overpowered cards video. And that's pretty much it for the year. I spent the last 12 hours talking and editing this, reminiscing on the past year, and it's crazy how much time flies. So, as you guys know, the Opal reward for this current month is Jason Richardson, who is by far better than both of the Opal rewards we already have. One of the best 2 guys in the game, and he is a free card. Fantastic moving shot, just a fantastic card, and a fantastic way to end kind of MyTEAM Unlimited. So anyway, that is the video. I'm sorry if there is any kind of little bit of stuttering. I'm sorry if there is some things that aren't edited perfectly. Again, this video has taken me about 16 hours. I've worked pretty much all day on this non-stop, and yeah, something I wanted to get out sooner rather than later, more so than anything, because it's taking up a lot of space on my computer. I'm going to have to kind of delete all the files from Final Cut very soon to free up space, so I kind of had to get this video out soon. But big thank you guys just for everything the past year. Big thank you guys for the near 100,000 subscribers, or the over 100,000 subscribers between the 2 channels. Big thanks for the 50 or so million views. Like, it has been an absolutely incredible year, and I honestly can't wait to see what 2K20 has in store. This was a video I would have rather made a little bit later, a couple of weeks later, but since I had some of the footage earlier, since I had a lot of the ideas, a lot of things were fresh in my head, I felt it was now was a good time to do it. So yeah, again, big thank you guys, anyone who stuck through it. Big thanks anyone who stuck through my videos this year. Sorry if I sound a bit tired, it's because I am. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.